Okay, doesn't the very fact that they say that they're God, um, kind of indicate they found no space aliens? Because then they could have a dispute about who God was. But instead, what they've done is they've built, the Great Pyramids at Giza and claimed themselves to be gods, um, to be, and to be the only God, and to go against the real only God. But anyway, that's beside the point. The point is, there are no space aliens, as best I can tell, because they've claimed to be God, which means they've found nothing out in space to indicate that God was anything other than someone who would come to Earth, and that's that's what I would also agree with. I believe that God created Earth, and I believe that God put Earth in a pivotal point, um, a point where God would come down to man in particular and not other space aliens. Um, of course, Jesus said there's harder things to handle than what he's given us to think about, but there's harder concepts to handle. Um, but I do not think that God or space aliens. I believe that if the Egyptians had found space aliens, they would call them God, um, because of the fact that they've come to Earth and that they've been able to come to Earth, apart from where they had come from. So if space aliens actually existed, I think the Egyptians would have been the first to make them gods. Um, and I don't think that's happened at all. I think that all of this has started on Earth and it's going to come to a finale on Earth, where Jesus Christ comes back. Now, if there is aliens and he wants to tell us about them, that's fine, but we haven't found them yet. And that's pretty much my go on it because I do think the Earth was created as a special place. I'm not saying there's not other special places, maybe harboring angels or alien looking, if not alien creatures, like like animals, like foxes, like little animals that could be smarter than us. They could be smarter than us because if they could make it to the Earth, that they're probably smarter than us. So you could see why the Egyptians would want to call them gods, but I don't think that point has occurred yet because the Egyptians have tried to make a name for themselves and align themselves among the stars, and that's the exact character of Cain and his children, is to make a big name for themselves, like the Tower of Babel, to make a name for themselves and not leave. So that's what they've been trying to do, and I think that they have basically made a name for themselves. But and everybody else on Earth, I think we are a special creature to God, and that is it's shown in so many ways. It's shown in the fact we breathe oxygen and exhale carbon dioxide, and the trees do exactly the opposite. It's weird that God has basically put us in a type of paradise where we don't have trouble breathing. We can breathe. We can go places with our bipedal with our legs. But we can go places. We can do things. We can use our minds here, um, which basically yield the results that we can build bigger things than we could before when we use our minds more. But I think that the aliens, no. I don't think we've found any yet, but any kind of organism is interesting to me. Um, but they say an organism needs water and needs probably oxygen too, like the animals. Um, but it would be weird. It would be weird if we found another Earth, basically, because there is no other planets that they can find so far, the perfect amount away from the star, with the perfect UV rays, the perfect rays that we need in our bodies for vitamin D. Um, it's basically we're in the perfect place to get all our vitamins. Um, and it's just unbelievable how exceptional Earth is for human beings, and for animals at that point, and for living animals. The fact of finding just a place with water, much less close enough to a star to provide warmth and far enough away to not get scorched. It's unbelievable odds. Um, we could look for planets forever and never find one close enough to a star. We'd have to adapt the light that was coming in from their stars at best if we knew how to do that. I don't think we know how to do that. But we anyway, basically the odds of us finding space aliens is about as equal to the odds of us traveling the universe. It's not going to happen. It's just something that's not going to happen. And I kind of, I'm going to think that, right up until we find them. But no, I think that, the Egyptians have claimed themselves to be gods and don't support any logical aliens.